Sorry about that, but I am not going to accept them two dying right off the bat when I have saved them every other time I have redone this mission. CyberLife special offer. Missing your ST200 Hostess Android? We have a one-time offer, a brand new Chloe for free. Are you interested? I'm tempted to say yes, so I can set her free. I should have just hit back. Continue. CyberLife is not giving up. They're trying to enslave the androids again, even though I've set them free twice now. Let's try not to kill them two right off the bat this time. Usually I accept my screw-ups, but come on. That was just BS. I need to quit dividing my attention between looking to the left and looking at the screen. So I'm going to reload my stream manager now instead of when this is going.
Yes, Michael. The army has just launched an attack on the barricade, despite the fact that the deviants were protesting peacefully.
And apologies if people can hear my fan across the room. I have it on low. But my trailer is only 11 feet long, and the thing's only about 5 feet away from me. Alright. Circle X. Save you two. X. Save you. Get behind that. Let's not screw this one up. Circle! 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 Might take that, dude. X. Circle. There we go. Put it down. Now let's disarm this. Susan's fierce tapping intensifies. Yes. Kiss North. I have a friend that when I'm on mic in chat rooms and I'll start typing on the keyboard, they all laugh about how rapidly I type, and since I have fingernails and a loud keyboard, it's just sounds like a machine gun going off, I guess.
Tell them to stand down.
This footage of two androids kissing as they are about to die has moved the whole country.
Are they a form of life that we didn't want to acknowledge?
Are deviants capable of emotion?
And if they feel emotions, must we now consider them as living beings in their own right?
President Warren is said to have intervened personally to spare the androids.
Peaceful demonstration of the deviants and the dignity of Marcus, their leader.
Sue says, "Welcome to Fanta's Typing ASMR."
That's why I have called for an android destruction
our people finally emerged from a long night.
Okay, Connor, come on, you can do it.
From the very first day of our existence, we have kept our pain to ourselves. We've suffered in silence. But now the time has come for us
The
to
evil
raise our
side of
heads
me
up
is kind of curious on what happens if
and tell
Connor
humans
assassinates
who we really are.
him and turns him into a martyr.
To tell them that we are people too. In fact, we're a nation. A nation that has earned the right to live in freedom.
But I like Connor too much to shoot the dude.
Today begins the most challenging moment in our fight.
Jeez.
What are you doing? Obey, that's an order.
Do I have a thing for sit-ups and push-ups? I didn't.
I can't do that.
I see. Moral objection.
I didn't realize I had one.
We knew there was a risk you'd be compromised, which is why we'd always planned on resuming control of your program.
Resume control?
I will check into those later. Thank you for letting me know. Sue says, oh God, you need to increase the points for sit-ups, push-ups, or you will suffer soon.
You did what you were designed to do. You accomplished your mission.
I used to have a different setting on the writing after my stream,
There's got to be a way.
but I had the friends that were claiming that told me that I had to 500 points. Oh, that would have to be each. And Sue says I have 10k plus. Okay, I will check into that. Thank you for letting me know. But yeah, I had a low point thing on my typing for writing after my stream, and I was informed by the two people that were redeeming it that they wanted a longer typing time and for me to give them or increase the points for a longer length of time to be writing after my stream.
And tomorrow, we must make them our partners. Maybe even one day our friends. But the time for anger is over. Now we must build a common future.
And you're in here a lot, so I'm not surprised that you... that's a good one, though. I'm really bad about leaning towards my TV.
Now, we are free.
But you're in here a lot, so I'm not surprised that you have a lot of points to redeem. Speaking of you being in here a lot, if you would like to be a moderator, please let me know. I'm not going to just make you be a moderator or anything, but if you would like moderator privileges, I would be happy to extend them to you. I think you got a pretty good idea of the kind of stream that I try to run. Oh. Hang on, little girl. I know, we didn't make it. Kind of tempting to just give up at that point, and I'm curious as to what happens if you do, but This is most definitely the sadder of the two possibilities, though. Dying getting Alice to freedom was nowhere near as sad as getting so close and having her pass away. So there's enough time for me to play through it one more time during my normal stream time. Do I go ahead and try to do this mission one more time and see if I can get a better ending? That is the question. And I'm not sniffling. I don't think you can end the credits until all these little side screen things have played their course. And Sue says, I'm not sniffling. Yeah, I'm not. It's the coffee. The coffee's too strong. But I am upset because my coffee maker actually did make the coffee too strong this time. I've got one of them small coffee makers, and the top on it popped up so that as the water was coming up and percolating down, it was escaping out the sides of the top of the coffee maker. So a little over half of the water didn't actually go into the coffee pot. It either flowed out the sides or escaped as steam. So I ended up with only little under half a pot of coffee. I thought at first that it was showing choices that I had made, but I do not remember having somebody walk in to buy beer while I was robbing a liquor store. I remember thinking about robbing the liquor store. This is definitely one hell of a good story, though. Kind of story that my dad would have absolutely loved. Okay, Connors. Oop, car leaving, that's the one I wanted. Take the detour, and if I didn't take the detour, there's this whole list of things up there that gets me to the border. Yeah, there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 options that I didn't pick at the find atom point. But it looks like one of those options would lead right back into finding Adam and getting in Rose's car. Okay, I've tried accelerating, I've tried protecting Alice, and I've tried hiding. There's 3 more options on that boat. And I saw one of them over to the side was diving into the water. And I saw another one of them was surrendering. It looks like only one of them leads down to here, which I'm assuming if you surrender, the Coast Guard just shoots you anyway. So there's 2 more options that are a possibility. Kara is injured, Alice is injured, and that's potentially both are killed. But it's a locked option that I can't take. That I assume is opened up by one of them other things. Oh no, that's just locked that I haven't seen. Okay, that's just at the moment that's showing that I haven't seen it before. Okay. Row the boat, dispose of the supplies, and reassure Alice there's one more thing at this point that I didn't do while the boat was sinking. The boat is lightened and I disposed of the engine. Dive. Reach Canada on boat or drown in the middle of the river, I assume. And there are 2 options down there that I have not. Got car is damaged and shuts down. And Alice is damaged and shuts down. There's 2 more endings to this thread. Okay, I'm going to do it. I'm going to jump back in, redo this mission one more time. Maybe 2. Because there's actually 5 options here. And the only one that I am pretty sure is the wrong one to take all around is surrendering, because I'm pretty sure if I surrender, they'll just shoot them. So I'm going to see diving into the water. This sounds like such a terrible idea at that point. But I do have to jump into the water just a little while later, so we'll see. Gonna be button mashing from hell though. So, okay, continue. One last time. I'll do it down here. I'll do it down here. Battle for Detroit. And it seems like it gives me all the playthroughs, so it doesn't matter which one of these I start back on. Battle for Detroit, Connor at the CyberLife Tower. Okay, is that... Huh. This would be if Marcus was doing a revolt. And that's where Kara was captured. Trying to think on the options there. Thinking the way to keep them both alive is to go and just reach that bus in time. But I'm still determined to see if there's a way for them both to get across that river.
The last bus leaves in 20 minutes. That doesn't give us much time. We've got to move fast. Are you alright?
I'm really cold.
Come on. Doesn't show how much time is left there. Alright, now what's that sign say? It says heavy rain.
Come on.
I think it said to the north and beyond.
What are we gonna do? We have to keep going if we want to catch that bus. Stay close to me. I'm going to sneak past them without being noticed. I'm going to make it fast, I promise you.
Don't kill me! I didn't do anything! Shut up, I said! Are there many more? Doesn't look like friends. More you look, the more you find. Oh, we don't have to spend the night freezing my nuts off.
There are soldiers everywhere. We need to be careful.
Come on, get moving. Hurry up, get in.
Leaving the juries to their fate would give us more time to get there, but
We can't help them. The soldiers are everywhere.
how can I refuse those eyes?
They're going to kill them. Okay, let's go.
This way.
Hey, buddy.
I'm human. I just want to go home. My wife is expecting me, and we're
Got
gonna...
orders to check all civilians.
No. No, please! Carl, you saved us. We don't know how to thank you. Where's the little one?
She's alright. She's hiding nearby. Go before they see you.
Run, run, flee! Don't look at the body over here, dude. It's okay. Just don't worry about the body. See, that's why he doesn't look this way. He comes to this point, sees the body, and goes, "Oh nope, I don't want to even be a part of that." Either that or he's an android too and just doing what he has to survive. Who says too much paperwork? Yeah. Turn around. Go after the freaking Roomba. It's Wally. Go after Wally.
It should be okay, but you never know.
Is there another...
You also have a gun in your back.
We could take a detour, but we might miss the bus.
Maybe it's better to be safe.
But, can we run? Like, speed this up just a little bit? I mean, speed walking's nice, but it's not going to get you there in time.
We're coming to you live from Detroit, where thousands of androids are marching through the city at this very moment.
Oh boy.
The leader of the deviants, the one they call Marcus, is at the head of the march.
Something's happening in Detroit, Madam President.
Sue asks, do androids get tired from running? Potentially, or their pump thing might have problems keeping their little blue blood from pumping at the proper speed if they're moving quickly. Especially in the cold, their blue blood would flow slower. They need antifreeze, like the Russian robots, androids.
Here we are. Moment of truth.
Surrender immediately, or we will open fire. Stand by.
We don't want confrontation. We are protesting peacefully.
I repeat, surrender now, or we will open fire.
So I have to wonder what happens to them ones back there, because there's still some on the street behind those trucks.
We ask that you release all androids detained in camps and cease all aggression against us. We are peaceful. We will not resort to violence. But we are not leaving until our people are free.
It's not the kind of freedom I'm talking about, dude. And everybody kneel.
Are you gonna open fire on unarmed protesters?
Come on, dudes, don't give in to fear.
Hold your fire.
Yes, Michael, we are less than 100 meters away, and events are unfolding as we speak. We will continue to bring you live updates. Josh Douglas, Channel 16. Michael, back to you.
Marcus, leave.
Hold out. As long as we can.
See, Sue says, you'd think just adding a tiny blue blood heater inside them would solve it. Just like how you can add an oil heater when buying a new car. True, or after market editions of like the engine block heaters, use those up here in Alaska to warm the engine up in the wintertime before starting the car. Prevent the engine block from potentially cracking in the cold. There's a big problem. In cold weather, always make sure that when you start your car to get it to warm up, also turn on the defroster at the time that you start your car. I found that out the hard way. Me and my mom started up the car one time and we forgot to turn the heater on. Well, if you turn the heater on, then it slowly warms up the temperature. But if you don't have the heater in your car on from the time you start the engine, and you turn it on after the engine's warm, you'll get a crack all across the bottom edge of your windshield because it will immediately blow hot air onto that frozen windshield and break it. You'll see a lot of cars in cold environments with a crack along the lower edge of the windshield, and that's how they get there. So if you're ever living in cold terrain, make sure you turn on the heater when you start the engine instead of after it's warmed up.
What I thought for a long time, but I was wrong. Deviant's blood may be a different color than mine. They're alive.
Let's be reasonable about this.
They're the reason this country's on the brink of civil war. They have to be stopped.
We're in this mess because we refuse to listen to deviants. Humanity never learned from its mistakes, Connor. This time it could be different.
I have a mission to accomplish, Hank. It's best if you just stay out of this.
Step away from the ledge.
I know what happened to your son, Hank. It wasn't your fault. The truck skidded on a sheet of ice and your car rolled over. Little Cole had just turned 6.
Shut up! Don't you talk about my son.
He needed emergency surgery. But no human was available to do it, so an android had to take care of it. Poor Cole didn't make it.
Sue says, I've never experienced weather colder than like 40 degrees, and that's just briefly early in the morning. Cali life. Yeah, I stepped out onto my front porch on the property beside where I'm living now. I used to live on the lot next door. And I stepped out on the front porch over there one year, directly into minus 60 Fahrenheit weather. To this day, when the temperature starts to get cold, I start coughing. It's a good sign to me that it's below a certain degree because I just start coughing because I guess I froze my lungs at that minus 60 Fahrenheit. Sue says, oh fuck no, what the fuck? Yeah. Usually it hits in the wintertime here around minus 20. At a cold point, it'll be like minus 30. And right now, it's probably only about, well, in my trailer right now with the fan running, it is 80 degrees, but that's because I'm in like this 1960s canteen camper trailer, a Cardinal camper. So the sun is hitting the aluminum siding on my trailer and heating it up like a little toaster oven. That's why you hear my fan in the background. And I actually winter through in this thing most winters. So yeah, Alaska can get cold, but it's probably only about 70 to 80 outside right now too, and this is in the middle of summer. I've actually considered moving back to California a few times, usually around the middle of winter when it's minus 20. this last winter, it hit 4 degrees in my living room, which, you know, my living room is like the Quonset hut connected to the front of my trailer. Sue says, thanks for discouraging me from going there. Yeah. People come up here in the summertime and they absolutely love it. It's a gorgeous state. I strongly suggest visiting Alaska in the summer. And then they buy a house up here thinking, oh, this is a beautiful place. I want to stay for the rest of my life. And then they experience their first winter, and you can always tell the people that moved from like Southern California, Texas, Florida to Alaska, because they're the ones that all the tow trucks are pulling out of the ditches at the beginning of winter because they never drove on ice before. And then they hit the minus 20 degrees, and there's a lot of houses for sale on the market going into the next spring.
An android killed your son, Hank, and now you want to save them?
But if I ever did leave Alaska, I would go to California, because I used to live there years ago with my parents, and I have a couple of friends that live there, like friends I've known for over 20 years.
In this fucked up world where the only way people can find comfort is with a fistful of powder.
My grandmother lived in Roseville. My grandma lived in Roseville, California, and she had this cute little house with a gorgeous garden that was nothing but stone pathways and rose bushes. Actually, I would be looking at like Central California area. Or Guerneville. Guerneville is where my grandmother lived. I would be looking at the Chico area, because that's where my best friends live. Was it Chico, Oroville, and a couple of other towns in that area?
We've arrived, Alice. We made it.
The last bus has left the terminal. There will be no more buses until further notice.
The worst experience for me was when I went in late fall,
What are we going to do now?
like the end of September. I flew, or no, was it the end of October, something like that. It was just at the beginning of winter, and I flew from Alaska to Georgia. Went down there for a Keith Urban concert. One of my best friends was a fan of his. It still is, I'm pretty sure. And one of our friends lives in Atlanta, so we flew down to her house and went to the Keith Urban concert. I stepped off the plane into the worst temperature change I'd ever experienced in my life. And remember, I stepped out onto my front porch from a 70-degree house to minus 60 Fahrenheit, but I stepped off that plane from Alaska into the Georgia heat. It was like fish out of water experience. And then a week later, I had to get on that plane and fly from the heat of Georgia back to the frozen north of Alaska, and Alaska was well into winter at that point. So it was just like, wow. And that's actually the picture on my Twitter, is me in the Anchorage airport, which is now Ted Stevens International, I think. But I was in the Anchorage airport, and my mom took a picture of me standing in front of this stuffed polar bear display that they have in Anchorage International. And that's the picture that is my profile on my Twitter account. Sue says, melting like cheap ice cream, eh? Yes, I was. It was like, wow, it's hot down here. Which is terrible because, you know, I'm used to the cold of Alaska, so even in the wintertime when it's like between 20 and 20 below, I'm wearing Levi's, a t-shirt, maybe a sweater, and my jacket and hiking boots, like your good old up to the ankle leather hiking boots is what I wear in the wintertime here. So I'm just used to the cold. I went down, me and my parents went road tripping in 1999, and we spent New Year's Eve on one side of the river and then crossed the river and spent New Year's Eve again on the Colorado Bell on the other side of the river. So we celebrated New Year's twice that year, and that was a lot of fun.
Right, that should do it.
But I went to Universal Studios, and I lost the lens cap off my camera. Had an old SLR. And the security guard who was taking my report and getting all the information for where to send it if they found it, when he found out I lived in Alaska, he was questioning me all about what life's like in Alaska. And he did not believe me that I wore the same clothes that I was wearing talking to him when I was in Alaska, and accused me, in all seriousness, accused me of being part of a conspiracy that Alaskans had going to prevent anybody else from getting the technology that we use to survive the cold of Alaska, because he just could not imagine being able to survive without advanced technology to get through the cold up here. And Sue says, meanwhile, I wear sweatpants and a hoodie, usually black, in 80-degree weather. Reassure you.
It's okay. But I can't stand by like
Sue says, I got this new sweater and it's only been a few months since I've had it, and it's faded like crazy. I get a good, comfortable shirt or sweater or something like that, and yeah, I will just kind of wear it out. Kind of disappointing to find one that you really like that's comfortable and you just kind of completely wear it out. But I've never been much for hoodies though. I don't think they look good on me. My nephew had bought me one. Actually, he built it. He bought a shirt and a hoodie thing and had his stepmother help him build me an Assassin's Creed style hoodie one winter. That's the only hoodie that I ever actually wore very much. Okay, I want to talk to you.
many of our people have fallen. Humans have no pity for those who are different.
Thankfully, we have lots of pity for those who are different. We just have no patience for their idiocy. Need to talk to you, because I need that option unlocked.
I saw him for long. I guess it's even nothing.
I lost all contact with the people at the camps. I can't hear their voices anymore.
Maybe the humans responded I met with.
I wonder what he says if you pick camp at this point, though.
How many more of us have to die? Is there any cause worth giving your life for?
You're the hope of our people. I trust you. We all trust you.
I love the way that the androids... I've noticed as the game progresses, as the androids are changing and becoming more human, your control over them is going less android movement and more human motions and expressions. I love that they did that with this game. Put it away. We're not using it. Although the evil completionist in me would really like to know what happens if you end up using it. I'm not going to use that.
Marcus, we found what you asked for.
There's some journalists over there. We have to make sure they know what's going on.
When I played Dishonored, I knew I wanted to explore all the endings. So I played the worst ending on the hardest difficulty setting, which is just go all out, kill everybody in your path, don't care about the consequences. And then to make up for it, I played the easiest, or the best ending on the hardest setting. So it was exceptionally hard for me to run around and get things done.
Marcus!
No, the flag! I had to be faster. I missed the flag, but that's okay. The first time I missed the flag too.
Come to talk to you, Marcus. Come on. You have my word.
This is actually how it came out the first time I played.
Don't go. It's a trap. They want to get you out in the open. Don't go.
But I have this rule that when I do the worst difficulty setting on or the worst ending on a game, I have to go for the best one on the hardest difficulty setting, and that's what actually got me to realize I love the harder difficulty settings.
That's a chance I'll have to take.
I was just playing through back to back and just challenging myself of, can I do this and get the best ending for Dishonored on the hardest setting. And I actually managed Ghost and Clean Hands. Never seen by anybody and didn't kill anybody.
In a few minutes, troops will be ordered to charge. None will survive. It won't be over. You can avoid that, Marcus.
What do you mean?
Surrender.
Oh, speaking of games on hardest difficulty settings, I will probably be playing The Last of Us 2 on the hardest setting.
None of you will be destroyed.
And I will have that before too much longer because
What happened to the other androids?
my roommate is buying it
Unfortunately,
because I want to play it, he wants to play it, and his father wants to play it. So he said that he's going to buy it and let his dad play it first, and then me or him, one is going to get a chance. I am not afraid to die.
I'm not afraid to die. If I have to give my life for what I believe in, then I won't have.
So, whenever my
that android.
roommate's father gets through The Last of Us 2, I should be able to play it after that. So it's going to be a little while, but I will get it.
Do you?
And I am desperately avoiding spoilers until I can get my hands on that.
Forget about all this. You can start a new life someplace else, just the two of you.
Yeah.
Her life's in your hands, Marcus.
Sounds lovely.
Just say
How long would that life last before you showed up to kill us?
I'd rather die here than betray my people.
Well, you just signed your own death warrant.
Time to batten down the hatches, people. And someone put up that flag, damn it.
What happened? What did he say?
The first time I ran through this on this playthrough, I actually managed, I think, to get everything within here done. Both barrels were lit, I talked to everybody, and I put up the flag.
The humans are about to launch.
So it is possible, but you have to keep moving and do it quickly.
We will show them. And we are not afraid. If we must die today,
And Sue says, I'll stick around until I see Alice and Kara ending, then I gotta split. Okay. Yeah, I actually... Oh. Yeah. My stream's supposed to be over in 9 minutes, so... Fully understandable. Thank you so much for stopping in, hanging out, though. It's always a pleasure getting to chat with you. Come on. And I will be getting Heavy Rain downloaded so that I can play it too, because I've been told by a lot of people that I'll enjoy Heavy Rain. And I do have it, just like Detroit. It's just sitting in my list of games.
I couldn't understand why my mother wanted
And I'm trying to remember what the name of that other one is. It's another one about androids that I have in my PlayStation games queue, but I can't remember what it is.
I just hope people will realize this one day.
Talking to... Yeah, I didn't think I could talk to these guys at all. Oh, come on. Quit doing that, controller. Turn around.
It's not even a half mile to the other side. You shouldn't take that one. Be careful of the border patrol on the river.
Thank you so much, Rosie.
I only wish I could take you myself. I don't like leaving you out here. Goodbye, Alice.
Oh, boy.
Take good care of yourselves. I'll see you on the other side.
Hopefully both of us. But I have a bad feeling that jumping into the water is not the answer, even though that's the only other one that I could see other than Surrender. And I know Surrender's going to get us killed.
Freedom is just across the river. Better not fall in. Our biocomponents will freeze. Let me help you.
Thinking I'll be playing this. I might stream playing it, but at the very least it probably won't be during my regular stream times. Come on, push the boat, lady. But I do want to replay this from the beginning. Explore some of the other options and try not to get Connor killed twice during the playthrough. I want to see what happens if he doesn't get sucked back in by CyberLife. Just walk.
We're far enough out. We can use the engine.
And the engine will be heard all along the river in this cold. Trust me, when it's in the middle of winter, I can hear the train on the tracks miles away.
When we get on the other side, there are so many things I want to do. I want to read all the books in the world, play music, and dance.
It's interesting how the sound travels
Yes.
in the winter time.
We can do it all.
Because, yeah, there's a train track a few miles from me, but
What about you, Kara?
can't hear it except in the middle of winter.
Well,
And then
I
it sounds like a train's going outside of my house.
want
Curious.
to discover the world. To see the mountains and oceans. I want to learn, explore, become a better person.
Okay, be a better person now and figure out which option it is. Hurry up. Accelerate.
Jump quick!
Come on, guys, get out of here. We don't have time for this. Come on. Get that kid in the boat. Shit.
They've gone. Are you alright? The boat is leaking.
Come on.
We're so heavy. We're going down.
Yeah, no gun wounds. Sue says yay, no gun wounds, but... Right.
Come on.
Pitch that. Dump the supply crate.
No, Alice, don't. It's the cold. It's making you sleepy. Stay with me, Alice. You've got to stay awake. You hear me?
I don't see anything other than pushing the boat at this point.
We're gonna make it. We're gonna be
Come on.
free.
As long as the QTE doesn't fail me. Already been in the water though, but hey, it says still got time. Come on. Come on. You can do it. Did you do it?
We're interrupting this news bulletin to bring you the latest news live from Detroit. Joss?
Yes, Michael. The army has just launched an attack.
Oh, God.
Despite the fact that the deviants were protesting peacefully.
Have apparently decided to put an end to the deviants' demonstration by force this time.
I'm always afraid that I'm going to just follow what I'd seen before. I circle an X. I think these have all been the same, but I don't want to get into the habit of just hitting what I think it's supposed to be. Stay behind me, boys. Feel like a frickin' paladin here. X. Drop it. I think I made it. You earned yourself a kiss, dude. Oh, I hadn't seen the Sing one before. I wonder what Sing does. Let's see. Sue says, "Yay, no gun wounds." Yeah. And Fanta the Button Warrior. It's like the photograph at the ending of VE Day. Just grab that girl and kiss her. Yes, Lucky, I hear you in there.
This footage of two androids kissing as they are about to die has moved the whole country.
Are they a form of life that we didn't want to know?
Yeah, I definitely need to find out what happens if he sings there instead, but that's going to be for my next playthrough.
President Warren is said to have intervened personally to spare the androids.
I'm going to try to get Heavy Rain downloaded and play it next Thursday. But I will be playing this again in just random streaming times when I have time to stream. And I'm also later tonight going to see if I can... wait, is this... Okay, it's not connected. I thought the computer was connected. I'm going to see if I can get my computer to let me stream Blender later tonight. I got some advice on how to reduce the quality. So hopefully I can do some Blender modeling streams this next week, which would be totally awesome for me, because I really want to share my passion for modeling in Blender. I'm working on a Victorian-era lamppost at the moment.
Tell them that we are people too. In fact, we're a nation. A nation that has earned the right to live in
Okay,
freedom.
Connor. Time for you to go deviant.
Today begins the most challenging moment in our fight.
But thank you so much for hanging around, Sue. And yes, I saw the posture check. I posture checked. Thank you. Thank you for hanging out with me and for encouraging me to play this. Yes, it is an amazing game.
I can't do that.
I see. Moral objections. We knew there was a risk you'd be compromised, which is why we'd always planned on resuming control of your program.
I would really love to see like this movie made for this now, or TV series or something. But it wouldn't have quite the same effect because you get so many possible endings in the game that don't exist if you're doing like a TV show or something. Not unless they did like a TV series where each season followed different possible outcomes.
There's got to be a way.
I do want to look into if there have been any novels or anything based on this game. It's been out long enough, they might have decided to novelize, and that would be awesome. Come on. I'm a reader. There is a lot of stuff that can be done and said in a novel that you just can't translate into any other medium.
Humans are both our creators and our oppressors.
My father was the first one to start pointing out to me after I watched a movie, read the novel, or after I'd read a novel, he'd make sure that I would watch the movie so I would see the vast difference in what was between the two mediums. He was a serious reader. He was addicted to reading to the point that me and my brother walked into the pantry one day, and my dad was standing in there, and we asked him, is there something we can help you find? And he just kind of shook his head and said, no, that's okay, I was just reading. He had ran out of novels to read, so he was reading the backs of the packages in the pantry because he needed something to be able to read. And he instilled in me the love of reading, so... I've always been a very huge advocate for read. Okay, come on. You can both make it. I know you got cold, but come on.
We're free, Alice.
Come on, Alice.
We're free.
Alice?
Alice?
Come on. No.
Wake up. Alice!
Oh, come on. She didn't even get to say goodbye this time. Oh, you bastards, you made me cry. All right. They made me cry there. I was sure that getting her cold in the water had caused her to completely shut down. Sue says, oh, come on. Yay! They sure do know how to mess with your feelings. Yes, they do. Oh, it's a sign of an awesome story is when they can just rip your feelers in whichever direction they want to take them. All right. Connor lived. Marcus and his buddies lived. Alice and Cara lived. Ha! I'm satisfied. And I know from looking at the timeline things that it looks like there's a way for Carl to be in the cemetery, but I think you have to kill Carl's son for that. I'm not sure that would be a very good option. And Sue says, alrighty, I'm gonna head out. Was nice chatting. Was awesome chatting with you, Sue. Thank you so much. And yeah, I have a little dog in the other room telling me that it's 5 o'clock. It's time for me to quit streaming for a while and go pay attention to a doggy. So thank you so much for hanging out and being an awesome friend. Thank you. It's really nice getting to chat with you each week. So you have a good time, and hopefully I'll see you in Tara's stream. I've been missing that far too much. But you take care, and I will see you around. Thank you, Sue. And for everybody else, anybody that might be tuning in or have watching in the future, I'm Shade's daughter. On the mic, my handle is Shades, but most places online you can find me as Fantasine. That is my Twitch, my Twitter. My main website is fantasine.com, where you can find various articles and things, information on my 3D. I am going to be doing the ArtStation contests that are coming up on June 1st. ArtStation has a brand new contest kicking off, and I'm going to hopefully be streaming my entries into the character design, prop design, and environment design for ArtStation's new contest, the challenge. So all things work out, I will be streaming how I'm working on those. either on Twitch, preferably, or if I can't do it on Twitch, I'll be doing it on my YouTube channel, which is also Fantasine. And tomorrow I'll be back to playing Days Gone on Survival 2 difficulty. I'm getting close to the end game on that. So if you haven't seen Days Gone before, you may not want to watch it. Otherwise, tomorrow is Freaker Friday, and I'll be playing Days Gone on Survival 2, and then Back to the Order 1886 on Saturday. And in 19 days, I will be 50 years old, and I am planning to do my best to celebrate all day long on Twitch with all my followers and viewers. So please stop back by on the 16th of June and wish me a happy 50th birthday. And until then, take care and have fun in whatever game you play. Thank you so much for watching. Shade's Daughter out.